Hey, good morning. We will give a few seconds for anyone else to join, get situated. Good morning. Go ahead and get your prop blanket, pillow, cushion ready. We will need it for the meditation today. Giving just a few more seconds here to make sure that we are totally connected. So good morning. We are going to do a class today that is focused on questioning the system and questioning frameworks and questioning structures, because we are all creative beings with the birthright to express ourselves and live from a place where we have that full expression, that full creativity, and instead of operating from this place where we feel repressed or oppressed. And so I want to talk about that for a little bit today, because we study a lot in yoga about the chakra system. And I think that this is really connected and mirrors a lot of what we're seeing as well when it comes to equality and equity and justice within our current system. So I invite you to look at the structures that are in place in your life, both on a micro level. So what's happening specifically in your life, who you interact with, what your daily routine is, who has the ability or the power to make decisions in your workplace, in your local government, in your education systems. That's very micro of what's at the local level, but that we're also being seen or bringing to light what's happening on a much larger macro level as well. So within the entire country, what's happening in different nations, who has the power to make decisions there, who has the ability to decide what systems, what structures, what foundations, what frameworks are in place. And there's a lot of beauty in having foundations, having systems, having a support, because it gives you sort of this defined space of how your creativity, how your expression can travel. So it's very similar to, like, if we take this is a vessel, this has structure, this is very much signifying like that earth type of energy, that grounding energy. And if we move the liquid into it, if we pour water, we've got this space now for the creativity to live, for the creativity to be housed when it's properly supporting us. This water element is properly supported within the space. Now, what if there are cracks in this vessel? What if there are holes here that are not properly supporting everyone? Then things start to leak out. People start to fall through the cracks. We're in a place where not everyone's being supported. And so if you had a glass at home and this was leaking and you were seeing it deteriorate and noticing that this is not being a good vessel of support, you would start to question what's happening there, what needs to be reworked, what needs to be redefined so that this expression is able to be contained. And so we've done that, starting at a macro level, and many of our classes, many of our moon circles, where we look at these things and we say, from a micro level, okay, how can I redefine my structures? How can I redefine my routines? How can I get to a place where I'm properly supporting myself so that I feel free to express myself? I feel free to take care of myself. I feel like I'm in proper health. And what's being asked of us now is that we take a closer look at that on a macro level, nationwide. What do we want the purpose of our structures and our frameworks and our foundations to be? And how should they be set in place so that we can properly be in a place where everyone is supported, everyone has a chance to thrive, and no one is falling through the cracks in those ways? So it sounds like it's a way that is far off from where we are now, but we have to get started, and we have to start chipping away at that, and we have to have this idea that it is progress, not perfection. And I think that that starts with, as much as we want to help with this work, as much as we want to contribute to the conversation, it all starts with us, and making sure that we're taking care of ourselves. We're understanding, what does it take to properly support a human? How do we put things in place that properly care for our physical health, our spiritual health, our mental health, emotional health? What types of education? How do we want access to education? What programs need to be in place? These are things that are going to start coming up. And so if we want to be able to contribute to those conversations, we need to understand what is thriving for ourselves, not just being in this survival mode, not just going back to old learned behaviors, old fear tactics that may have worked for us when we were younger, may have worked for us in childhood, but it's not the way to navigate through the world anymore. We're going to do a Kriya today to experience the original you, to get back to who you are at your core, what your needs are as a person, and how to start questioning those foundations. My routines that I have in place, the businesses that I'm supporting, the people that I have surrounding me in my life. Is this supporting me to be in my best thriving space, where I feel that I'm able to openly communicate, openly express? And then once we understand what that looks like, how do we give that back to others? How do we make sure that everyone has the right to experience that? And how do we show up for that? How do we vote? How do we make sure that we're putting our bodies in spaces where we can give back these tools that we've learned? So that's my pitch for today. We'll go ahead and move into a little bit of a warm-up to get the body ready before we move into the Kriya. And then our meditation today, we're going to be going back to long Ekankars. Again, because those are great for breaking habits. It's great for getting you in a place where you are looking at some of these frameworks, some of these structures, some of these behaviors that may need to be changed. So with that, bring yourself to a comfortable cross-legged position. We'll just do a little bit of grounding before we tune in today. So let yourself come to seated, either on top of your cushion, blanket, a little bit of support there for your spine. Letting the hands rest on the top of the knees. Could either be in palms down. You can use your favorite mudra if you'd like. Close the eyes. Bring the gaze inward and upward to the third eye. And from here, begin long, deep breathing. In through the nose and out through the nose. Focusing on shifting your awareness to where the body is holding any tension. Focusing on where the breath is showing up in the body. As you inhale deeply and exhale consciously, focus on making the rise and fall of the breath as smooth and fluid as possible. As you breathe through the tension and focus on release, I invite you to take a moment to give yourself a bit of gratitude and congratulate yourself for showing up today, for making space for this union between mind, body, spirit, allowing yourself the opportunity for the body to communicate with the mind, and for you honoring the listening of what it would like to say. Keep the focus on the body now as you make mental awareness of where your body is connecting with the ground. So where are you currently rooted? It may be the side of your foot, the side of your leg or shin, the sit bones underneath your bum. Notice where you're rooted, and on your next exhale, use that release to lengthen from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. Use that foundation to root as you rise. Feel the spine elongate. Feel the chest lift as you lift the heart. Imagine there's a string from the base of your spine all the way up through the crown of the head, and someone is lifting up on it. Good. From here, begin to rub the palms of the hands together at heart center, creating a little bit of activating energy. This is a nice moment to focus on an intention for today's practice. You're already halfway there just by showing up. But today, when we're focused on experiencing the original you, we're focused on questioning the system. There may be one word or one phrase, one mantra that comes to you that you'd like to carry throughout your practice today. When you've found it, can find stillness at heart center, pressing the palms together slightly, feeling the knuckles of the thumb against the chest, right at the thymus level. With your next inhale, bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, roll them down and back so that they sit just a little bit lower than before. From here, we will tune in with the Adi mantra, Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. We'll chant it 3 times. And we start out here with the note of D. Having some technical difficulties. Okay, we'll just lead you here. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. Apply Mulband. So that's root lock. Squeeze the anal sphincter, the sex organs. Pull that energy and imagine it spiraling from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. Before it's uncomfortable, exhale slowly through both nostrils. Keep that gaze inward and upward at the third eye. Allow the hands to either come down to the knees, either palms down in your favorite mudra, or if you still need some more grounding, you can let those hands come right down to the floor. Just take a moment here to witness the space that you've created. So again, bringing that mental awareness to the body, doing a scan, notice where you may have some tension still hanging out. And also celebrating where you may have already created a bit of release, a bit of expansion, just by projecting your own voice. Very good. When you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. We will get started on our warm-up here. So allow yourself to come off of your cushion for a bit. Go ahead and still stay in a cross-legged position. We're going to place the hands on top of the knees. Begin to rotate the chest, rotate the heart around the lower spine. So you can choose any direction that you'd like. We're going to allow the breath to power our movement here. So as you rotate, we're going to inhale as you rotate forward, exhale as you rotate back. Just warming up the lower back, warming up the hips a little bit. Working on that foundation first. Keep the chest lifted here. Don't collapse into that posture. On your next exhale, take a moment to pause and then begin rotating in the opposite direction. Still inhaling forward, exhaling back. Maybe notice if there's any difference between the two sides. Without judgment, just curiosity. Slowly begin to make those circles smaller and smaller until you come to a neutral space at center. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Bring the hands onto your shins for spinal flex or writing the candle. Again, powering the breath from the diaphragm here. Rocking forward on the inhale, backwards on the exhale. Again, keeping the chest lifted, keeping the head neutral here. Working with your own range of motion to get that lower back warmed up. Keeping the muscles of the face soft here. Good. Inhale forward. Exhale, release. Bring those legs out in front of you. Take a moment just to bounce the knees. Get some more blood circulating there. Maybe windshield wiper the legs. Maybe pedal and flex the feet back and forth, all the way up to the hips. Very good. So back to cross-legged position. Bring the hands up towards the shoulders for a bit of movement and twisting here from the rib cage. So again, staying grounded, staying rooted with the sit bones, allowing the rib cage to move, allowing the breath to propel you here. So inhale, we twist towards the left, exhale towards the right. Very important to not overextend yourself here. Just a few more here. 3, 2, 1. Inhale to center. Exhale. Let the arms come down. Again, to the tops of the knees, maybe in your favorite mudra. Or down to the ground. You need some more grounding energy. Again, take a moment here just to witness where the energy is moving through your body. Let the breath do whatever it would like. Be able to sit in the wholeness of experiencing both tension and expansion at the same time. Good. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Begin to rotate the neck as you lead with the nose, drawing circles. Inhaling on the way up and exhaling on the way down. Working on the throat chakra here. As we move through our foundations, as we recognize our creativity and our expression, we also need to find a way to communicate that with ourselves and with others. On your next exhale, take a moment to pause and begin rotating in the opposite direction. Still inhaling up, exhaling down. Slowly begin to make your circle smaller and smaller until you find a neutral space at center. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Very good. So you can blink your eyes open. Come back to seated. If you have a cushion, blanket, something that you'd like to support your spine through today's practice. We'll be in a cross-legged position, and the mudra is simply interlacing the fingers in whatever way feels most natural to you, and extending the arms out. So there's no bend in the elbow. We're parallel to the ground, and we just hang out here. This is going to be for the first 3 exercises. So the arms stay lifted here. Once you're locked into place, stay here. The gaze is at the nose. So we'll be looking at the nose today. And we are just going to begin by long, deep breathing, but we're attempting the minute breath here. So we're inhaling for 20 seconds, suspending the breath for 20 seconds, exhaling for 20 seconds. So it may take a bit to work up to 20. So just do your best counting. Maybe you only start at 4, maybe you only start at 6 or 8, but just focus on finding more space to expand within that framework, within your body. You start to go a little bit cross-eyed, it's okay. Just readjust your gaze whenever you need to. This is one of the most difficult gazes for myself personally. So if you are there with some frustration, I feel you. But it's also part of the practice. How can we work through these frustrations and not let them throw us off of what our goal or our mission is? We're about halfway. You can do this. Very good. Okay. Now we're changing the breath here, keeping the mudra, keeping the arms at this level. We're going to change the breath so that we're inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, through an O sort of mouth. So this is cannon breath. So when we're exhaling here, we want to get it out, but we want to be mindful that we're not puffing the cheeks too much. So going at your own pace, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. The power and the depth here of how you're breathing is the power of how much you will cleanse yourself of this tension in the body. Halfway, keep going. You need to let those arms come down. Take a moment. Continue the breathing. Thirty more seconds. Inhale deeply. Apply Mul Band. Visualize that energy spiraling from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale through the nose. Let the arms come down. Bring that gaze inward and upward. And just notice where the energy wants to circulate. Very good. Okay, last round. Squeeze those shoulders if you need them. Shake them out if you're feeling any stiffness. We're going to move back into that same mudra. The last breath pattern here is going to involve suspending the breath. Anytime we're using suspension, we're focused on our own judgment, our own limits, knowing our own boundaries. So we're going to inhale deeply, suspend the breath, and as the breath is suspended, we're going to just pump with the navel. And you're going to pump in and out while you're suspending the breath as many times as possible until you feel that you need to exhale. And that's when you'll exhale through the nose. And then you'll just repeat. Inhaling through the nose, suspending the breath, pumping the navel, Feel it right here in the solar plexus, pulling that belly button in and up. And before it's uncomfortable, exhaling consciously through the nose. So begin here. You have 2.5 minutes. You can do it. Again, focused at the tip of the nose. Halfway. Almost there. Very good. Exhale all of that breath consciously. Keep the posture. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. Push, push, push through the hands. Really stretch through this mudra here. Stretch, 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 stretch. Very good. Exhale deeply. Slowly bring those arms down so that the elbows are at the rib cage level. Bring the 3 fingers into the palm to create a fist as you keep the index fingers or the Jupiter fingers pointed upward. And you are going to begin to circle these movements outward, so away from yourself, as vigorously as possible. So vigorously that you feel your entire spine move. And we're going to do this to circulate all that energy. So the circles should be coming in towards each other to meet each other. Really vigorous through here. Make sure that you breathe throughout this entire part. Fluidly, smoothly. Keeping the muscles on your face soft. Almost there. Very good. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Let the arms come down to the ground. Let the feet come out in front of you if you need to. We are just going to relax for a moment. So if you'd like to come off of your bolster, if you'd like to lay down onto your back for a minute or two, go ahead and do that. Whatever is going to allow you to fully relax in this moment. Allow the breath to regulate and do whatever it would like. Continue to stay inward in the experience of your body. Notice where the energy is circulating. Okay, begin to slowly deepen your breath. Allow yourself to come back to that seated meditative posture. So if you're laying on your back, maybe bringing the knees into the chest, giving that lower back some love. Giving yourself a stretch, getting to a place where you feel ready and open to come into that meditation. So once again, we are going to be doing long ekankars. So the chant is Ek Ong Kar Satnam Siri Wahe Guru. And we're going to use Guru Charan Singh's version. Once again, you can find it. I found it on Apple Music. You can also download it through Spirit Voyage. And I really love this one just because, like I said, you can hear the breath circling. You can hear that energy sort of cleansing everything there. Mudra today, we're going to focus on communication. So the thumb will be connected to the pinky, hanging out on the tops of the knees. Gaze is at the third eye. We're in that meditative posture where our spine is supported, lengthened, the chest, the heart is lifted, the chin will be slightly down and back. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Very good. So you made it through the meditation. It's your practice today of sitting with yourself, witnessing what wanted to come up, what wanted to come to surface. And now we rest and we integrate that into our experience. So let yourself come lying down onto your back, onto your mat, in whatever way is going to be comfortable for you. So if you need something underneath your knees, if you need something to prop your legs up, if you want a little blanket to be cozy, please give yourself permission to make that happen now. So let your feet spread as wide as your mat. Let your arms fall away from the sides of your body, palms facing up. Let the shoulders come down away from the ears. And begin to relax your breath as you melt sweetly into the support of the ground. So one last body scan here as you relax. Relaxing the tops of the feet, the ankles, calves, knees and thighs. As you relax the breath, relax the belly. Relax the lower back. Relax the rib cage. Relax the chest. Relax the shoulder blades. Again, sinking deeper into that support. Relax the hands, forearms and elbows. Again, relax the shoulders so that they're away from the ears. Relax the neck. Relax the jaw so that there's space between the teeth. The muscles on the face. The eyes behind the eyelids. Brow, forehead, scalp are all at ease as your head rests lightly against the ground. From here, allow your energy to circulate and your body to heal. It's 3 trillion plus cells. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. you return back to your body in this moment in time and space. Begin to invite tiny movements into your fingertips and toes. Rotate the hands around the wrists and the feet around the ankles in all directions. On your next inhale, bring the feet together, bring the arms up overhead for a full body stretch, just like you're waking up in the morning. On your next exhale, bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug, rock from side to side. Give that lower back, those kidneys, those adrenals some love. Remember to breathe. From here, begin to rub the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet together briskly. Rub the tongue along the roof of your mouth, stimulating the body's meridian points and energy centers. And from here, you can either rock and roll along the spine at least 3 times to come to seated, or you can just turn over to one side and push yourself up. So with that, we will conclude today's class. Invite you to take a moment, bring those hands at heart center, and reconnect with your intention for today's practice. And to end, we will sing the Long Time Sunshine song to send our peace and blessings out for the first time to ourselves, and the second time to everyone we know, everyone we have yet to meet. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And inhale to sing. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we be holy. May we make time to return to the original self, to question our framework, to create new pathways that support healthy mind, bodies, and spirits for all. Salam. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. We are growing and expanding quite a full library at Buck to Basics. So there are plenty to choose from. Stay updated by subscribing. And if you can, if you are in a place of abundance, please donate to the studio, share with friends who may benefit from these classes. And as always, thank you for showing up. Salam.